We are talking all things Nonpoint with Elias today, and you got a lot to talk about, that's for sure.
Yes, like my new karate lessons of working out, doing good. Yeah,
Getting,
lots of news.
getting hyped up with your own song, I see.
Yes. Trying to keep it ruthless with my sidekicks. Yeah, man, everything's going great. The song's amazing. The reaction has been outstanding. It's moving quick, so we're happy.
No doubt. I think I saw it today. What is it? You're over 100,000 streams on Spotify at this point?
Yeah, I think it just hit 130 while we were talking. It's awesome.
That is so cool. And you also launched a brand new label. Is it, I want to make sure I got this right. 361 Degrees Records, right?
That is correct. All the way around, and then one more degree.
Okay. I think I called it 361 Records on air, but I was like, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, 361 Degrees Records. It's an homage to our fan group. It's such a support fan group. We find them everywhere. They're on Shiprock when we're at Shiprock, and every venue that we go to, we always find our 361 family.
And there's a group on Facebook I'm into, 361, all things Nonpoint. Shout out to them.
Them.
They are.
That's them. Yeah. That's them, baby. That's our little army. That's the Nonpoint army. We've been very, very lucky to have such an amazing tight knit fan group.
And no doubt, I think one of the last shows I did with you, it wasn't the one with Five Finger at the State Fair, but it was one of the ones before that. It was like, I think it was the Christmas show I did with you in Springfield, Illinois. I want to say we packed that show so full. I think we almost went over capacity code at the venue.
Yeah. We I would guarantee that 3/4, if not all, were 361. They're loyal. It's a very interesting feeling to have so many people at you. It's almost like watching it on TV because they have such a tight community. Even outside of the band, we communicate with them. We hit them up on the socials and stuff. And Sean is a dear friend of the band and helps us sometimes with some of our day to day. And a lot of the people in the group do that. But they have weddings, 361 weddings, and anniversaries and 361 get-togethers outside of it. Like it's awesome. It's awesome.
It is definitely its own little group. So the label's out there now. It is its own entity. You guys broke off and became independent, which for some bands could be scary, but for you guys, you decided now after going through several different labels to go independent. At what point from leaving Spine Farm or deciding to leave Spine Farm, when did that become a thing that you're like, all right, we are going to do this on our own?
Well, it's not because of Spine Farm. We never left Spine. We love the people at Spine Farm. That's not why we left Spine Farm. I think it's something that we talked about, and we started actually talking about it way back onto the Paint when all the labels and everything was switching over, and it went from the Big 12 to the Big 6 to now the Big 3. Back then we were even questioning, can we do this ourselves? And took a first kind of swing at it with the distro deal and the independent label, the Beeler Brothers, when we first did that. But this time is really the time that we really have dug ourselves up. A team that the band built, led by Rob Ruscia and Francesca Ludicar. Frankie was the one about 3 years ago when we brought her on board that really gave us the plan and the infrastructure to prove to us that it could get done. And then it was the list of stuff to get it done and the workload that we had to go, okay, how are we going to do this and accomplish it? And then, bringing people that were in on this 3 years, 2 years prior, just on a creative level with Rob Ruscia, who eventually became our COO. And the administrative side of the record label, taking care of that infrastructure. So having a caring team first initially involved, and then Frankie going, well, this would be the plan. If we were to do it on our own, we would have to make sure we take care of these things, and then delegating stuff to Rob and to myself, and when we can to the band. That's when we knew, hey, we might be able to do this. And then bang, the pandemic hit, and we were like, well, I guess we have to do it. So let's do it. So that's when the education started, and the team kind of took place. We parted with Spine Farm, and I called up Frankie and said we're independent. Work begins.
So, how much added pressure is it for you just individually working on this? Because as a band, it's all on you financially and everything you do every step of the way. It's yours.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's the risk. It's all the risk is on us now. So if it's successful, it's because of us. But if it fails, it's because of us. And our team has made it clear to us. Rob and Frankie both have echoed that. It's really going to be based on us sticking to the plan as best we can when those hurdles come, knowing how to pivot, and then just doing our best to cover all the bases.
Well, we'll get into Ruthless here in a second, but obviously the pandemic, as you mentioned, it was a huge hurdle for a lot of people. I'm sure it put a huge stick in the spoke for you guys in terms of the release and even launching the label. So talk me through what it caused and the delays it caused for you and this label, even the band.
Yeah, well, the plan was initially to do everything that we're doing right now, even with AEW in place. We were slated to do something for Double or Nothing. And then we got the call just a couple of months before, and the top execs and everyone at AEW were sitting with the song, and they were like, "Man, this one would go way better with Blood and Guts." So, the theme and the music, and then they called us, and what was strange is, again, this is us pivoting. Is at the time, though we were on this exact same plan a year before, we got the call from AEW, "Hey, are you guys still down with the song?" We are like, "Hey, we really don't want to release the song right now because we won't be able to support it. We don't know what's going on with touring. A lot of, the drive of everything of a song comes from being able to tour with it." So, we pulled back on that. So when we break to a year later, we start moving things in motion at the schedule, knowing that Double or Nothing was going to be coming again, that we could set up that again. And then we get the call about Blood and Guts. So our 8-week schedule had already been pushed because of video and photo shoot 4 weeks, now went up 4 weeks. And then the 8 weeks we had got smashed basically into a month. So, it was tough on the team. And everyone's doing their best to really get through every single one of the steps that we have to get us to where we know we can be, and we're at right now. Our team is unbelievable, really is.
Well, you guys pivoted great. All the teases leading up to Blood and Guts, then the song fully being featured. And I don't know if you watch AEW fully or not. That was a hell of a match, and great to hear the song involved.
Yeah, lots of blood. Lots
Yeah.
of blood. I was like, "No guts, please, no guts. No guts. I want to see guts on TV. I want to see the guts."
There was so much blood in that match. My wife's watching
crazy. Yeah. I'm like my daughter. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Go to your room. You go watch YouTube. Go watch YouTube."
My 11-year-old would walk past, and he loves watching wrestling with me from time to time. He would walk past the room in the living room and look like, "Yep, nope, I'm just gonna keep going." I'm like, smart move on that one, man. Just keep going.
Definitely. By the way, that entire camp, AEW camp, is just class acts, man. What an amazing group of people. Great team. Their administrators are awesome. Everybody's really, really amazing in that camp.
And that's what I hear all of the time about them from the wrestlers and even those who get involved in various ways. How did you get involved with them? Like, what was there a phone call from them? Did you guys approach them about it, or?
Actually, got the guy that works with their music department, Mikey Ruckus, reached out to us and asked us if we were willing to put a song in, and we're like, "Hey, we happen to be writing some new stuff, so maybe we'll keep wrestling in mind with a couple of these tracks and see if we can lean it that way." And when we had Ruthless up, we're like, "All right, let's send this demo to Mikey, see what he thinks," and he loved it. So we're like, "All right, this will be the one."
And Ruthless is the title track of the new EP. When's the EP drop? I mean, I know the track's out right now. Do we have a date for the EP?
Well, we're just sticking with the song right now, letting people love this song as much as they possibly can. But there is a pre-order for the 7-inch. This is the first time we've ever done a 7-inch in Nonpoint's career. So for the Nonpoint fan that has everything in our merch line, you don't have this. On the first side will be Ruthless. And then on the B side is a long-awaited cover that people have been waiting on from us. And it's going to be the extended version of that song. So,
all right, I'm out of the loop on this. So are you going to... okay.
So, yeah. There was a campaign. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to our IG and check out the campaign that we did during the pandemic. People have been waiting for the song, and we did a nice, beautiful extended version. As he did when he did his song, there was an extended and a radio cut. Right. We just wanted to pay homage to that as well.
Very cool. As far as the music itself, I watched the documentary. You talk about all the tunes and releasing EPs sporadically, and not doing the records because obviously I hate saying this, but I'm a dinosaur in that regard. I love full length albums, but I get the world has changed. What is the plan with the music that you've recorded?
There is going to be a final body of work eventually. We're going down that road because we have other EPs lined up, and the way we're wording everything, it feels like it's going to come into one final body of work. So, Francesco also did the documentary, by the way. If you haven't seen Path to Independence, definitely go to YouTube and check that out. Explains the whole story and this, but also talks about what we're doing with that. We're going to do a Ruthless EP. Then we're going to have another one, a following one, and then we're going to combine them all into a body of work that then Frankie's going to design and put a whole new record. So you can basically have the collection, a group of B-sides, and then merch just for your favorites on each one. But we plan on doing videos for each one, so that's why we're doing it little by little, because we're funding the next with the prior. So every bit of money that we do here, we dump into the next one, so that way it grows, and eventually we'll get in the black. That's the goal. But right now, we're only working in the red. So we'll see. So get out there, get to the pre-order. Go over to the pre-order right now if you're listening. Go to nonpointstore.com. It's got the entire Ruthless line. It's our most beautiful merch that we've ever done, and it's got a lot of firsts. The 7-inch. It's got slides for the first time. We have stitched socks instead of the painted on stocks, and a vinyl slip cover, which we've never done before. The commemorative plaque. A lot of the 361ers are jumping in on that one. That one has you get basically you get your name engraved, and thank you for contributing to the marketing and the recording of Ruthless. So a lot of really cool first. So
yeah, no doubt. And yeah, I love everything that you guys did. The basketball jersey looks super cool as well. So
that's all designed by Frankie as well. Just so you know, guys, go check out her page. Go follow Francesca Ludicar. She's an amazing artist.
And she definitely does some great work for you guys. So make sure you go check that out and help fund the next piece. So when you say EP, because you say there's going to be the B-side on the vinyl itself, it's just going to be 2 songs every time as we lead up to?
Yeah, but then there'll be the full EP will be released at the end once we drop each song in each one. But they'll be coming soon enough after the next one that you'll have something new.
Okay.
So the full body of work, I would probably say fully delivered. Don't quote me on this. August, September. By that time, we'll be ready for the next one and getting ready for the next one.
Gotcha. I just wanted to fully understand if there was like a quote unquote album or if it's just leading up to the actual EP.
It's all coming. The EPs are all going to be their own bodies of work, but then we're going to put it all together with another group of songs to really give you guys that big record.
Cool. Really looking forward to that. And being independent, I love that you guys are out there. And, with the pandemic happening, it's obviously pushed, again, like I said, everything back. You've had a lot of time at home. What has been keeping you occupied outside of 361 and doing this music?
361. Well, this and I'm playing. I'm also daddy professor. When my daughter needs me, but I have to give credit where credit's due. Once my daughter kind of got the swing of things, she basically put herself on cruise control. She opens up her computer every morning and gets in there. If she needs any help, I help her out. But she's a little adult, man. I'm super proud of her. She sees me working hard, and I think she's getting that ethic that I was hoping she would get right away. she's she's a beautiful, beautiful little girl, and I'm a proud papa. So, uh, I proudly am daddy daycare as well as daddy teacher and daddy professor. So I have that to juggle, and I cook and stuff, and my wife, she works most of the days and most of the week. So we it's a real household.
No doubt. I work from home here. I'm in my home studio. I try to help my 11-year-old as much as possible, but I was so bad at school. He'll come to me. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to wait till mom gets home. I just don't know what to tell you.
I can't even believe some of the math that they're doing at the age that my daughter is. I'm like, how are you doing this now? Because I did this in sixth grade. I swear, you're in fourth. It's crazy. It's crazy. Kids are
Indeed.
smart. Kids are real smart these days.
It's crazy. Like he'll come down and be like, "Hey, did you know you can do this on your computer?" And I look over at him like, "What are you talking about?" And he'll type a few keys and he'll do something like,
He's like,
I
I
got
just made 15,000 in Ethereum. You're like, what's Ethereum?
yeah,
I'm like,
right.
yeah, Dad.
He
I
comes
just
in,
bought
"Hey,
so many Robux.
yeah, I just made a bunch of money in Dogecoin, with my piggy
Yeah.
bank." Dude, I'm broke over here.
Oh man.
Oh man, what's your favorite thing to cook at home right now?
My
Do you have like
my
your
favorite thing to cook at home. We just moved into a new place, a new house. So I got to get the grill out and really been grilling a ton. I really like to grill. Uh, Grilling is my passion right now. I'm putting everything on the grill. Cereal, pizza, whatever. Just put grill marks on it and I'll eat it.
nice? And you're living up in what, Michigan right now, right?
Michigan. It's beautiful right now. Well, last night we had a little bit of cold snap, but it's beautiful up here during the sun.
I'm gonna say I live in Central Illinois. It's been off and on. There's been cold snaps. I'm like, make up your mind.
Yeah.
I just want to be outside and enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Maybe put on shorts.
Yeah, we're on third winter, I call it. This is third winter. It's like winter, first spring, second winter, spring, third winter, and then summer. I remember one year it snowed on June 6th in Michigan. On June 6th. Yes, yes, June. June,
Uh,
people. You heard me right. You heard me right here. This report right here.
you're standing outside going, I moved from Florida for this.
For this, what is it? It's like I got to be close to the band.
Yeah. And everybody else is centralized in the Midwest, then I
Yeah,
assume.
Chicago. We're Chicagoland. I'm about 2 hours away.
Okay. Not too bad. Speaking of
Yeah,
the
we got 2 hours.
centralizing of the band, Rob and you are the, essentially the originals in the group. What has kept you going throughout the whole time, the ups, the downs, and everything involving the music industry? What has been the thing that's most kept you going
The
of
hunt,
being on
man.
point and keeping the
Honestly,
music?
it's the hunt. It's the hunt. I like waking up every morning with purpose. It really does keep you young and keep you happy. Even with all the stress and things that come with doing it yourself and all the risk and the anxiety and all that stuff. Honestly, it's I love it. I absolutely love the hustle. So, keep going.
And you guys are going to keep going on, and D361's the label. The tune is Ruthless. It's out now across all the platforms, and the vinyl is going to be coming out soon.
Yes,
Looking
vinyl
forward to
7 inch. It's like I said, it's beautiful. It's got a black with red splatter, ruthless red splatter. It's gonna look cool, man. You guys will
It's going
like
to
it.
look cool. I
Yeah.
like that. Are you a vinyl collector? Do you prefer physical, or are you now
I have
transferred over to
three
the digital?
I have just over 300 vinyl. Um I do love vinyl. I just like I said, I just moved to a new place and finally got to crank my vinyl up, making the neighbors angry. I'm never gonna move into a house, apartment or condo again. House living is the way to go. I'm cranking my stuff to 11.
I hear that. Speaking of making the neighbors angry, I was watching the documentary and thinking of that. You guys, the practice space and the early goings of putting together the music was actually in a storage unit.
Hmm.
Um, Talk me through finding the storage unit and the idea of doing it in there, because I mean, you guys took
Well,
out spaces and you're in there working.
yeah. The storage unit is actually the storage place is really friendly about that. You know, we we were doing a lot of catalog stuff, and normally the place that we record and write our music at Uptown. With the pandemic and everything that was going on, we just felt like it was safer to be somewhere where there wasn't a lot of traffic. You know, we literally thought, man, we could just get the storage unit next to our gear, open it up a little bit. Rob, the negotiator of everything, literally picked up the phone and was like, hey, what do you think about us practicing here? And he's like, yeah, you guys practice here. I love you guys. So got to practice there. And you know, I'm sure some of the people, it's funny because there's a couple of other businesses that have storage units there that, you know, do drop shipping or do something like that and store their stuff. And they walk past us and walk past the unit and we're, you know, going nuts in there. And it's it's fun. It's an interesting environment. It really makes you feel like back in the day when we were just, you know, practicing in a garage or in a practice space. So it brings it back. It's actually a really great environment to work in. You know, we get up close to each other and you know, we're around all our gear and it smells like our gear and it's cool, man.
And it seemed like it just in terms of how the documentary was produced, everyone feeling the vibe and working together.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining people like 2 aisles over just hearing Rob going to town on his drum kit.
Yeah, I'm sure they relocated.
You know, thinking about the studio time, I think a lot of people imagine bands get in, they run through, they're done. You know, it doesn't take too long. But watching your vocal time, I mean, it takes a bit just to get one song done in the studio.
Yeah, I'm probably pickier than the average bear. And you know, I even heard Rusha tell me this the other day, and I think he even brought it up in the documentary that, you know, I'll run back in. I'll just keep going back in until I like it. You know, they're like, no, man, it's great, it's great. I'm like, no, I know I can do it better. I know I can do it better. So I know how it is to live with it forever, and they do too. But you know, it's yeah, it's the perfectionist in me. I like at least that part of it to be as good as possible. And if we got the time and you know I have the energy and the voice to do it, I definitely want to be able to have that ability to finish that off the way I want to.
And this is potentially why there's only one live Nonpoint album.
No. Yeah, we yeah, I don't know why this. We're actually talking about doing another live Nonpoint album. Um, there's talk about us releasing that statement show, which
Oh,
was
nice.
pretty awesome. And that was a lot of fun to do. So I think people enjoy that one if we drop it live. So there's a couple ideas going around. Eventually it'll happen.
Well, I only jokingly bring that up because I won't say the band name here on this recording, but there was one band I bought their live album, and I'm just a kind of like a producing nut, and you could totally tell that the lead singer went back and redid the vocals on every song. Like it is almost
Oh,
studio perfect on the entire record. I'm like, no, like that's not why
and
I bought this.
yeah. No. You hear it on live. You hear all the mistakes on live and kicking. Definitely, you hear all that stuff. Yeah, we're you know what, we're to our own detriment sometimes. We're definitely the type of band that wants to do it on stage, how we do it. And if we make mistakes, we make mistakes. You know, we try to make the next rest of the show make up for that little, you know, on the vocal or flub in the guitar. You know, the Y note when they hit the Y note. There's a G, is this a Y? You know, that happens.
Somebody
So if
starts the wrong song.
yeah. So if they you want to go in with that little guy, you know, I get that. That's there, but you know, like you said, you could tell, and we know that, so we don't want to get called out, so we kind of try to avoid that as much as possible.
Well, with touring being canceled last year, do you guys have or know of anything yet that you could possibly be doing maybe later on this year? Are you going to hold out till
Yeah,
next year?
yeah, we're doing Rebel Rock this year down in Florida, and we're also doing Blue Ridge Rock Fest. So you know, you'll catch us definitely on either one of those. But offers are all coming in because everything's starting to open up, and all the boys are basically vaccinated. I got my next shot next week, so we'll all be ready to go.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to
Yeah.
that and everything to come down the pike. Elias, thank you so much for joining us. And man, look forward to all the things coming in the future and wish you guys the best with 361.
Thank you, sir.